We can get real corporate and almost rigid and religious, but let's be 100 real quick. We're going to get real here about things that will affect you. This is why I love watching Antoine, because Antoine will get real with you. When you're in a corporate environment, how can I say this? You need to build relationships quickly. One thing that you have to be able to do is you have to be able to be pivot, and you have to be able to be bulletproof. And how you do that, Antoine shared that in other videos, but how you do that is while you're changing your mindset, watching these videos, reciting scripts, okay, figuring out where you want to do. The reason why I pursued a career in tech is this. Let me tell you about some of the hardship that I went through. And then let me tell you about how this circled back and how it connects. And I'll do this very quickly and be very transparent and real with you guys here. Okay. I've always been an articulate young man. My mom's from India. My dad's African American. I went to a private school when I was younger, but being a knucklehead, that wasn't good enough for me, right? I had to get out there and I had to get, with the D-boys on the block. And if you can follow what I'm saying, maybe some of you can, maybe some of you can't. What I'm saying by this, the D-boys, I got involved in the wrong activities with the wrong people, making the wrong decisions. Trying to be cool, okay? Playing Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, running around with the white tee and the fitted hat, okay? Banging 8-Ball MG. Some of it might be a rock and roll song for you, country song, but I was out there, drinking a little bit of E&J and a little bit of Hennessy, doing what I thought amounted to being around these certain groups of people that got me away from feeling rejected. Got me away from feeling abandoned. Got me away from thinking about my father leaving my mother. Got me away from thinking about the $12 an hour I was making at the oil shop. Because once I got my little $300, I go blow it on a couple blunts and a little bit of drink. And these guys make me feel better. So maybe that's not you. Maybe it is. And if it is you, keep following me. And if it's not you, here's my next segue to this. What I'm saying is this. From that oil shop job, I quickly found myself in a career in sales. When I moved with my father, okay, I got with my dad. My dad knew sales, and my dad knew that I was a smart young man. He knew I had a sports background. I got my first real sales job at T-Mobile, okay, working at a cell phone kiosk. And when I got there, I was definitely scared. So if you're thinking about getting into sales, you're not sure where to start. Maybe you're having trouble reaching that, that spot in tech and getting into software. Start somewhere. For me, it was cell phones. It was hardware, right? It was retail. Because that's what that was a low-hanging fruit that I could get to at the time. But quickly there, my job was threatened. My fourth week, we're going to fire you. You're terrible, right? You're not good. I don't know what you're doing. My mind changed. I said, I'm walking. I don't have a car. So now I'm living with Dad. This isn't Mom's house. Dad's dad. He's laying the law down. Ain't no car rides. Ain't none of this. You take the bus 4, 5, 6, 7 times. You go find the job. You don't find the job. You're out. You're out. You're done. You're back to the streets or to wherever you're going to go. But you ain't going to stay here. So Dad just put it this way, and thank God I had a dad to go to. Thank God I had somewhere to go to. So I excelled and became the top rep in the state in cell phone sales. And how I did that was this. I didn't have the most knowledge. People passed me up. They second guessed me. They said, "Who's this guy? Who's this Billy Graham guy with his glasses on? What's he got to do? Who's this chump coming in here? Or who's this guy? But what it was this. I had something to prove. There's a chip on your shoulder. So turn that rejection into fuel. How you get yourself to do that is this. Again, I know it sounds redundant, but for me, this worked, and maybe it'll work for you. You have to take a step back. You have to get away from the noise. Grant Cardone says, rise above the noise. You have to block out the job that you're at, your spouse, your mom, whoever it is, and say, what do I want for my life? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? Get through some of those videos that Antoine have. Make a decision that I really want to change I really want to make 6 figures. If you could make an extra 10 grand a month, you're making 2 now. You're making 3 now. You're making 4 now. How much more could you help people? How much more could you be a better husband? How much more could you be a better brother and sister? How much more could you be a better you? So at the end of the day, it's not them that don't believe in you. And if you don't have the skill set, the information is here. The books that are online are there for you to listen to. You can get an Audible membership for free right now. Download 10X Rule by Grant Cardone or whatever it may be, or Eric Thomas's, you know, you know, UOU, and listen to that and get yourself fired up. But it's what you're listening to, where you're going, and what you're watching. So I'm going to fast forward and take you right through where some things begin to change for me. At this time, I was 25. I'm 38 years old now. So because of the wrong decisions, I had my child. I was a deadbeat father. I could not be the man that I wanted to be because of my own demons and my own fears. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the reason why we self-sabotage, that word self-sabotage means we inflict our own damage on ourselves, is because we're still looking in the rearview mirror. We've not changed the mindset. Sometimes it's like an overweight man. You know, I struggle with this, and I'm a big guy. I struggle with this, and I'm pivoting a little bit here, but follow me here. I'm trying to use an analogy almost. It's like a big guy eating 5 or 6 cheeseburgers a day, but he wants to lose 70 pounds, and he's going to the weight room, and he's lifting weights and doing what he's supposed to. But on his days he's supposed to be eating salads and chicken breast, he's eating 4 or 5 burgers, expecting a different result. Mm-hmm. He's not getting out of his way. She's not getting out of their way. In order to make an impactful change, you can listen to all the books. You can listen to all the tapes. You can watch thousands of Brother Antoine's. You can watch this video over and over again. But until you decide to make a change for yourself, until you really decide to say, you know what, I deserve better than this because I want to impact A, I want to impact B, I want to impact C. And when you write those on your heart, I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what, but if you're hearing me right now, I had to go through some sacrifices in order for that to happen for me. So because I wasn't a good father, okay, which I'm a great father now. Me and my son have been close for, 12 years of his life, but his first 4 weren't too good, and that's because my wife stepped in, right? And I'll share that later. But I have a beautiful wife. I've been married for 6 years now, and an amazing son. My wife's name's Cayenne. My son's name's Aiden. But I guess to long story short it, going into sales was life-changing for me. And the reason why it's life-changing is because I got paid twice. I not only got my base salary, but I also got a commission for competing. And if you're in a place where you're going through something, and you're in a place where your heart is heavy, you're in a place where you maybe not have enough money. I don't know if you've been there, but I've been to a place where my lights were cut off. I've been in a place where, there was not enough, there wasn't even gas coming out the stove, to heat the stove because we're so behind in bills. And, that one commission check for $3,000 for selling phones, for selling lawn care, whatever it is that you're selling, it can make a difference in your life, and it can help you get out of obscurity. So follow me here from T-Mobile. Okay, I became great in T-Mobile. I made about $3,000 a month, and that's not a lot of money. But for me, that was making $800 every 2 weeks. It changed some things, right? Mm-hmm. And another story I won't get too long-winded in, but to give you a taste of where my life has been, and maybe you can relate. I don't know if you can. I was in trouble with the law. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was in and out of jail. I went to jail 18 times. Mm-hmm. And for stupid things, driving without a seatbelt, driving on suspended, getting involved in relationships with women I didn't deserve to be in, operating while impaired back when I was 23, right? And why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing it with you because I'm being real. I don't want to hide here on this. I want to give you a taste of who I am, and maybe you can relate, maybe you can't. But if you've been through, hey, you've had some setbacks. Then I found myself, self-sabotage. You find yourself in these environments. In every environment, I've always been the best. I've been the best salesperson. I've been the most competitive, but my record fizzled out quickly because of the extracurricular activities and the wrong decisions. I wasn't going around robbing banks. I wasn't going around beating people up, but it's that negative mindset. I would be, if I'm supposed to be at work at 9 a.m., I'd be out till 1 a.m. at the bar having a few drinks. Had no business being there with the wrong people in the wrong place. So I wasn't serious about success.